Hi, my name is Simon T. In this 4-minute mastery session, we're going to be talking about how you can go from forgettable to memorable in 45 seconds, right now. Hi, my name is Simon T. Speaker, writer, innovator. In this 4-minute mastery session, we're going to do the essentials of how you can tell your leadership story in 45 seconds and go from forgettable to memorable. Let's be honest, most people know what their organization, their business does, and they understand the purpose of that organization. They can tell that story. But it becomes a lot more difficult when you ask people themselves, who are you? What is your story? In particular, what is your leadership story? So why does having a clear leadership story matter? I've sat on dozens of interview panels, and I'm always amazed when you ask this simple, humble question, tell us something about yourself. And people will act like it's a complete surprise. It's a curveball. People put a lot of thought into what the job, what their profession may be, but very little into telling us who they are as a leader, as a professional, as someone who can perform. So what is a leadership story? A leadership story is what you say about yourself. What you say about yourself and what you stand for, your passions, how you intend to inspire others, and actually harness your talents and skills. A good way to think about what your leadership story is think about what are the 15 words in which you are going to rock our world. Because if you don't understand what you give to others, what value you bring to others, then nobody does. So how do you craft that memorable leadership story? I call this the 80-10-5-5% model. It's really simple. You can do it in 45 seconds. So let's start with the 80%. 80% of professionals, leaders, talk about themselves in a very strange way. What they focus on is their skills. And what comes out of their mouth is simply a laundry list of skills, qualifications and skills, and skills and skills and skills. And you actually see their body language crumple up and the blood drain from their face as they feel so detached from these skills, these generic skills. Now let's not confuse generic skills with something which is a craft. True craft is where you've harnessed your skill and taken it to the next level and the level beyond that by harnessing passion, being apart from the crowd, not being the ordinary crowd. But most people, when they talk about themselves, talk about a list of skills. And let's be honest, most skills are commodities. Let me just repeat that. Most skills are commodities. There's a price tag on every skill. And what you're saying by just describing yourself as a laundry list of skills is essentially this. That is my list. That is my price tag. That's what I'm worth. Like a supermarket trolley, that's what I'm worth. All of those tins in the trolley, the car, that's all I'm worth. That is my price tag of all of those commodities. 80% of people, particularly young professionals I find, describe themselves as a basket of skills. What you're describing yourself as is as a series of commodities. The 10% of people, a little bit more sophisticated, they switch from skills to the questions of experience. And they all talk about stories that mention their experience, particular leadership experience. So I've done this, and in that role I had these responsibilities, etc., etc., etc. There's nothing wrong with that. Experience is vital. Remember, experience is vital to transcend a skill into a craft. It takes practice. It takes experience. But from the listener's point of view, a laundry list of experiences is kind of remote. You're basically regurgitating your CV. Both of these strategies, the 80%, talking about you as a basket of skills, or the 10% in talking about you as a series of experiences, make you highly forgettable. There is nothing unique in your flavor of who you are. There is nothing unique in your story. Now, 10% of leaders, 10% of professionals, regardless of their skills and talents, do something different when they fundamentally talk about themselves. 5% do something really interesting. When you ask the humble question, tell me something about yourself, they start off by saying something, what I am driven by. And they say something like this, I am personally driven by A, B, C, and D, or A, B, C. It doesn't matter. Think of what you're personally motivated by, because passion, the motivation, inspires you and inspires those around you. And the interesting thing about drive, that motivation, what I'm personally driven by, is actually require no experience. You could be 20, 30, 40, 50, you could be changing careers, and you're driven by that passion to succeed. 5%. And the interesting thing, from the listener's point of view, they get excited about your drive, your passions. If you really want to transcend into the top 5% of people, those leaders who really talk about something profound, talk about what they are and talk about their story, then you can do this, the 5% rule. Think of it this way. Great leadership is not what you take from others, it is what you give to others. So think about a statement, your leadership statement, your story, and complete this humble sentence. I believe the unique value I bring to others is X, Y, Z. And could be to an organization, to a community, to a team. The unique value I bring to others. Now, I've done this exercise with groups of lawyers and engineers and other professionals. And let's be honest, they all have in that room roughly the same skills. They've probably gone to roughly the same universities and colleges to get roughly the same qualifications. Where you'll find some differentiation is in experience. Some have chosen a certain path. But what is really interesting, and what people listen to, and what makes people memorable, is those people who harness their skills, their talents and experience and talk about what they are driven by and the unique value they bring to others. So in 45 seconds, you can talk about what you're driven by, the 3 things you're driven by, and then the 3 things that you bring the unique value to others, to this organization, to this company, to this community. And then you can pepper that with 1 or 2 anecdotes around your experience. Skills are a given, but the drive and passion to contribute to others makes you an exceptional professional. Thank you for watching this 4-minute mastery. Again, my name is Simon Trevarthen. I'd really like it if you want to subscribe. There's all of the information there. The other thing is, share this story with a friend, 2 friends, and let's grow a movement together. Thanks very much, and goodbye.